So it was 2 years actually. We spent 2 years on this particular product. We tested it with 600 people before getting a product that is like that we were proud of, basically.
If you could break it down for me in like how the first 6 months looked like after you had your entire finished product, that would be really helpful.
How do you convince people to buy your game? What we did was a very smart move. We did a very smart activation strategy. Before launching on December, we got 170 of our closest friends. We sent them a skeptical invitation card. We told them, you are invited. That's it.
Every shelf that you want to be has its own price, or there's a competition for by other brands also in order to be on that shelf. So could you walk me through your process of how you went into the retail, or how did you crack those first 5 stores? Hi, Patrick. Welcome to Commerce Couch.
Hey, Suhail, how's it going?
Yeah, awesome. I mean, a lot's been happening, but yeah, for all the right reasons, I guess. I have been seeing your brand for like almost 2 months now. It's under my radar, and I have been enjoying the kind of post and the content that you are making out there on Instagram. Really could connect to most of them. But for those who don't know who Patrick is, what Panic Zone is, could you give them a brief about who you are, what you've been doing in the past 5 years, and why are you building Panic Zone?
Sounds good. First of all, I'm very happy to be here, Suhail. So thanks for having me. So my name is Patrick Saber. I'm the CEO of Panic Zones.
Mm-hmm.
Before starting Panic Zones, I was previously in management consulting for 8 years. So I got the business acumen things out of consulting. But I always had this passion of creating something in the gaming sector, me and my co-founders, which are my closest friends. And yeah, we ended up creating Panic Zones, which is a tabletop publishing company. We create games, experiences, competitions right here from the Middle East. And we try to reach those games to as many people as possible internationally and globally. So Panic Zones, our first product was Panic Zones Arctic Edition, which is the card game that you're seeing everywhere. And all our content is based on this specific card game. We launched it on the 5th of December, so it's been 5 months now. And honestly, the growth has been tremendous so far, and we're very happy about it. So the first card game we released, it's actually a fast-paced survival card game. The whole theme of it is that you're stuck in the Arctic, and you're trying to survive against the different obstacles that are available in the Arctic. Like a bear is attacking you, wolves, lizard, whatever. But the thing is, these are not the most dangerous stuff that are in the Arctic. Your friends are. And that's the whole concept of the game. It's a game of betrayal, chaos, laughters. You need to be careful because your friends are coming your way. And yeah, the whole goal and the mission of it is to survive at the end of the day. There's two ways to win. Either you're the last person standing, or you escape by collecting 3 rescue cards. And yeah, that's it basically.
Interesting. Out of all the things you wanted to build while you were in your management consulting job, why did you choose to build something in the gaming industry?
Since I was a kid, I was a gamer at heart. And that's not only for me only, but also for my co-founders. We love to play all kinds of games that you can think of, from digital games to physical games, from Call of Duty, FIFA, to Catan, Uno, Monopoly, and the regular board games that you know of. At the same time, we're kind of creative individuals. We always come up with fun experiences, fun different games, like small games that we would draw on a piece of paper, and then eventually we would play it while we're sitting. And then, yeah, we're like, we have to create a game, and that's what we did.
Interesting. What is the first thing that you have in mind when you're building a game? What is it that you want people to feel after they play it?
The way we go about it when creating a game, we really think about it in the lens of what I want in a game to actually enjoy it. Like, as in Patrick, if I'm sitting around and then someone brought me a game, like, what would I expect from this session in order to say, yeah, this is a nice game and I want to replay it? So there's always this replayability factor in our heads that a game should be replayable. Like it's super important for us that it's not just one or a game that you can play one, two, three times and then you put it in the drawer and then that's it. It should be a game that you feel every round brings you something different, and hence that's why you want to keep playing it. So for us, when creating Panic Zones, the secret sauce, if you want, was a mix of chaos. So and with that chaos comes a lot of surprises, like whoa, this is a new card this round. What happened? A mix of sometimes like panic and competition involved. The more you're anxious, like, am I going to get eliminated from this card, or is this guy going to attack me, or is this girl going to attack me? And then you sprinkled in a little bit of strategy at the end, because it's super important for us that every player dictates how the game goes. And it shouldn't only be luck based, but also skill based. You put everything together, and that's what a fun game looks like.
Before you develop one end product, like a one game that is a finished product that goes out on the website and it's available for the people, how many iterations do you usually go?
For this game, because it was our first rodeo, it took us about 30 iterations.
And across how many months or days?
So it was 2 years actually. We spent 2 years on this particular product. We tested it with 600 people before getting a product that is like that we were proud of, basically. And yeah, it's a heavy exercise. Testing is the most difficult part, getting the statistics right, making sure that people are enjoying it, and the replayability factor that we talked about, those are crucial.
You mentioned about statistics. How did you go about statistics or insights in your case?
So in our case, first of all, we started the whole ideation process and the concept itself. Like we were like, there should be this card, and in order to protect yourself from this card, then there's this other card. So we laid down the whole blueprint of all of the different type of assets that we want, types of assets that we want in the game. And then at the first glance, it's really just throwing numbers out there, because you cannot really expect what is the perfect number of cards. So you would just say, I think that this card, we should have more of it. And then that's why it takes so much time, because it's all trial and error. You would test it. You would ask people, did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Did you feel that there was more of this particular card? Or did you think that you're getting eliminated really quickly? So we got all of the feedback. And then based on that, we kept iterating until we got perfect count at the end.
Interesting. Now, let's say you have the end product there, okay, and you know this is something that will resonate with, if it worked with 600, it might work with 6,000 or 60,000 also, okay. Now, the real game is, how do you kind of make this a business, right? How do you go out there? How do you start making people aware of this kind of game exists? This is why you need to play in order, like if you are with your friends or with your cousins, or in your family also, late night or whatever that is, right? If that's the case, how did you go about turning this whole concept into a business? And if you could break it down for me in like how the first 6 months looked like after you had your entire finished product, that would be really helpful.
Of course. So what we did is, as soon as we got testing out of the corner and we had everything ready, we made sure that the illustrations, the details, the packaging is exactly as we wanted. So we sent to different manufacturers, got a different kind of quotes, and then went with the product that we felt was the best quality for the cost that we're paying. A lot of things that people don't know are that there's a lot of legal requirements that you need to hit in order to produce a card game. There are, say,
Really?
trademark, you need some certifications, and those are required in order for you to start selling in the region or in different regions. Every region has a specific certification that you require, and usually we put them on the back of the box. So
Why is
once you
that?
get, these certifications ensure that your product isn't harmful, because sometimes different prints can harm in the long run, or they make sure that, for example, the card is not going to cut a child's hand while playing. So all of these are super crucial. There's a laboratory that usually deals with those. They do tests. And if you were able to check all of the requirements, then you get the certification and you can sell in a specific region, because once you have them. So these take time. And then afterwards, you just choose the different channels you want to sell in. And for us, it was everywhere. We just want to be everywhere. So there's Our website, which was built on Shopify, and that's direct to consumer. There's the retailers where we put in different retail stores. And then you have also the online retailers like Amazon and Noon, which also give you a lot of traction. So once you have all of the infrastructure ready, this is where creativity needs to come in play. How do you convince people to buy your game? What we did was a very smart move. Um, we did a very smart activation strategy.
Mm.
Before launching on December, we got 170 of our closest friends. We sent them a skeptical invitation card. We told them you are invited. That's it, with different colors on the card, and everyone was like, "Oh, what is this?" Some people got scared. They were like, "Question mark? Like, what are you sending us?" And eventually, what we did is we did like a Squid Game format tournament in which we brought everyone into a competition. We promised them that they would win a trip to the Arctic, full expenses covered. So the winner would have we will make him travel to the Arctic. And that's the reward. So they have their incentive. We then gave them a lot of challenges. And those challenges are things that help promote the game. So, for example, go to this location, film yourself with the game, or play this game with a group of people and post it on social media. So essentially, we were a team of 5, 6 people in the Panic Zones organization. We became a team of 176 people. And those 170 eventually became our community. They started referring other people. And that's how it grew really quickly at the beginning, by word of mouth, by people watching for us, by playing the game with different kind of people. So that was the actual launch. On launch day, because of this, we were able to sell 500 units in the first hour. So it boomed directly. And then right afterwards, a lot of people started hearing from us. We started doing creative content on Instagram and TikTok. And the community is always at the center of it. So we film their reactions, interview style questions. We see what they're feeling. And these are like raw reactions. Like we see people betraying their best friends live on camera. And and I think people resonated with those videos, and eventually it drove them to buy the game.
Interesting. Out of all the channels that you experimented, let's say on social, which one has been like rewarding for you?
So you mean from the social media side of things? Instagram by far was
Mhm.
our most rewarding channel, more so than TikTok. And we were surprised because initially we thought that TikTok would lead to higher conversions. But we realized something on Instagram is that if you're building a community, Instagram is stronger, especially for us and especially for the region. And especially the ads, the meta ads are even stronger for conversion than TikTok ads when it came for us.
Have you tried TikTok ads?
We've tried TikTok ads, yes. We've
Okay.
tried both of them,
Mm,
but
mm, mm.
Meta performed way better for some reason.
Okay. Okay. Fair, fair. Let's say you mentioned about the whole activation in the retail space, right? On the D2C side, when you have the product live on the website, and then there's a word of mouth and people talking about it, eventually people are going to come and take it. But when you go onto the retail side, it's not that easy. Every shelf that you want to be has its own price, or there's a competition for by other brands also in order to be on that shelf and everything in between it, right? Could you walk me through your process of how you went into the retail, or how did you crack those first 5 stores?
Yeah, for sure. So what we did is, if you really want to make it in the retail space and have your product on a shelf, you should have the ability to hustle. Like really go after every single point of contact. Try to go to a store, tell them that you want to speak to the buying manager, set up a meeting. If he doesn't answer, follow up with another email. If he doesn't answer, follow up with another email. This mindset is crucial in order to make it, especially when it comes to B2B and the retail sector. Now, what we do is we promise our retailers a few things depending on how many units they decide to go with. So if it's a bigger unit size, then what we do is we promise activation strategies and marketing for them. We would do videos on social media to basically advertise their stores. We would bring in our community, host a tournament, add the shelf. At the same time, there are things from our side that we need to make sure of. We need to make sure that the branding of our product is nice enough so that people walking through that store would find it interesting and would want to pick up the box. And usually, what we do is you want the cover of the box to be interesting enough so that the person would actually flip the box and read at the back of the box. Why do you want him to do that? Because usually the back of the box has more details on the game itself,
Mm.
on like how is it played and everything. And if you're able to convince him to do so, you are one step closer to converting that person and having a purchase. So these are some of the tactics we used mainly in the retail space.
Lovely. I mean, how is the whole, direct to consumer side of thing working for you compared to the aggregators like Noon and Amazon? Which performs better? And if one supports the another, how does it happen when you are having a product like this?
So for us, our sales have been pretty much equal on both Amazon and Noon and our website, because we really took a lot of time to build our website, thinking about the whole journey. When a customer enters the website tagline that he reads, what are the images, the credibility signals? Do you offer him a discount or not? How do you make him convert? So eventually, when we really dug in, researched, looked at our competitors, some people, some of the biggest players that have already done this in the past, we saw, okay, like this is what's working for them, this is what's not working for them. We'll design our own blueprint and then test as we go. We'll see where people are clicking mainly, where are they dropping off, and based on that, we'll readjust the whole journey from A to Z.
Interesting. I mean, the whole card game market already has a bunch of competitors like, Uno, there's Exploding Kittens, there's Card Against Humanity, and many are there, right? How did you think about positioning panic zones against these established players?
Essentially, what we did, there's two things. There's positioning the whole IP and brand, which is Panic Zones overall, the universe, and I'll go into this a little bit.
What is
And then
IP?
so what we're trying to do is we're trying to build a brand. Panic Zones is not going to be only one game. It's going to be a series of games, and every game is going to be a different kind of experience. Every zone basically is going to be a different game. So for example, Arctic Edition was the first zone. You're going to have other zones as well, and every single one is a different game. One can be a board, one can eventually be, maybe if we transition back to video games, it could potentially be something down the line, but they all have the same core. And by core, we mean there needs to be chaos, there needs to be panicking involved, and the target or mission is always the same. It's around surviving and escaping that specific zone, basically. So, in terms of positioning, what we're trying to do differently than what the others have done is that the way we think about it is that we think there's going to be a huge map, and then you'll be able to see like different zones, and then the consumer can select the zone depending on what he feels like playing. Does he want more strategy, something that's lighter? And that's basically the choice that they need to make. And from a positioning standpoint, you can position any game along like a spectrum. If you go from left to right, imagine left is like your party games that are social, chill, doesn't require a lot of thinking. And then on the right hand side, you go to something that takes like 3 to 4 hours, very strategic. You need to think about every single move. So our first game, Panic Zones Arctic Edition, is positioned at the left hand side more so than the right hand side. You mentioned Uno, Exploding Kittens. Those ones are really like very left. Where we stand is a little bit later, and this is because we have a bit more strategy involved than those particular games. But yeah, if I can position it, it's a light game where people can have fun, very fast paced, 10-15 minutes. You'll enjoy a round.
Interesting. I mean, in the whole gaming market or in that segment, it makes the players so involved that they want to be a part of more and more and more. Okay. Let's say there's one series that came out, they liked it, and they'll be excited about the next series that is coming in or the next game that is coming in, right? How do you think of retention when you are building something?
Of course. So in our business, because it's a product that you only buy once, and it's not like an e-commerce where on a regular basis you might buy that same product again. It's super important for us that you can buy this game, replay it for many years without getting bored of it, because eventually the way we think about it, if someone buys a game, that person is now advertising the game for us. He's going to play with his friends. His friends are going to be super passionate about it, and then they're going to maybe purchase a game. And what's important for us is that if our logo is on a particular game, Panic Zones is on a game, it's like we're giving we want like a stamp of approval in which whenever a customer handles a game and he sees Panic Zones, he's going to know that it's a nice game. And then eventually he's going to see another game where there's going to be Panic Zones on the top. He's going to be like, I really enjoyed the first game. Let me buy the second game as well. And what we try to do, especially with our content and our different events and everything, is that Panic Zones Arctic Edition, for example, is just a gateway. Like, we would get you interested in our universe, and then there's endless possibilities of things that you can do. You can be involved in our tournaments, involved in other games, in other events. So that's exactly how we think about it.
What do you think of a customer when he is buying a game? Is it something like most of the experience that you have so far when you are selling the game? Are they coming in for fun? Are they coming in for entertainment? Or are they coming in for coming in for a feeling or a vibe that they want to feel included or want to be a part of the cult that you're building? What is that they're buying?
It's really everything that you mentioned, but
Huh.
if I could really choose one, customers really want to see themselves playing this game. Like, they want to picture themselves with their friends actually using your product. So
Mm,
it's super important not to only show the product and say, yeah, this is Panic Zones, it's a card game, it's super fun, but also show like the reactions of the people while playing this game, because someone watching those videos is going to picture himself and say, like, I want to play this game with my friends. It seems cool and we're going to have fun. And that's exactly what we expect for them to think when they see our content, basically.
when you are building physical consumer product, right, where in a world where you have any game on your phone or on the screens and everything in between, what is so different about having something physical than playing digitally or online?
The issue is with screens today is that they isolate you. Like, you there's a lot of loneliness involved with them, especially with those apps like Instagram and TikTok, with the algorithm being super addictive. People would doom scroll for hours, and you can feel that people are seeking like experiences, travel, and just want to go out there. And physical games is just an easy way to get your friends onto a table, play with them, make some memories. And yeah, that's basically it. And we've seen it. Like, when it comes to me, while I was still in my consulting job and I was spending hours on my phone, I used to feel like I want something different. There's an urge to do other stuff. And even the data shows it. Like, the tabletop industry in general is going at a very fast pace. I think it's going to double by 2030. So people are
Hmm.
buying more physical games than they used to. And I
Hmm.
think it's because of digitization.
So more people are getting trapped with the whole online space. They would want to get out of it and get into the physical space. Is that what it is?
Exactly.
Okay, okay. Let's say, for example, someone is building a brand today. Okay, out of your experience, if there are three mistakes that you want them not to do while they are starting, what would it be?
The first thing I would advise them to do is to really plan ahead, strategize, and really get the data beforehand, before just diving in and just seeing how things go. Because you'll never believe how much complexity is involved. Even like, if you think of a card game and you would say, wow, and that's it. But as I told you, there's the legal requirements, shipping, logistics. You need to be very familiar with the whole process. And a lot of investment goes to that at the beginning. So you need to be aware as well about the different resources, finances, investment that you need to put in order to get something like this up and running. So that's the first advice. The second advice would be to really push on marketing, because that's what really makes a brand. And not only marketing, but also the community angle and events angle of marketing. So using the community and word of mouth to your leverage, filming content when it comes to that, because that's what really builds a brand that people would love and be familiar with. And then third, have the product be the marketing for you. So build a strong enough product that people are going to enjoy it, and then they're going to want to show it to their friends, play again, and then play another game eventually.